Okay, what type of students are we looking for? Okay, academic can be a part of it. Cultural can be a part of it. It can be athletics. It can be certainly maybe in the cultural, the arts, I should say fine arts, or certainly cultural types of activities and programs. That can be a big part of it as well. So certainly as you're looking at different schools and colleges, you're looking at what's the right kind of college for me. Is it certainly a school I know I'm admissible for? Is it a college that might be pretty competitive? I've got to look at all these different things as we start to look. Again, whether go online, whether get a chance from the admissions officer, whoever it might be. So you've got to look in the mirror, ask yourself, what best represents me? What would I best represent? What maybe might be the right school, the right size, the right fit for me. We're going to talk a little bit more about that also as we do go along. Okay. Now, for a lot of schools and colleges, we were talking before, there's certainly a little bit of pressure on families, on students, to try and find that right college, what's going to be most competitive. Keep this in mind as you do look at schools and colleges. There's no guarantee in the process. Any particular school and college, any particular major, you might be interested in, there's no guarantees. For some schools, you may not be admitted to some colleges. And the thing about it is, and even as some students we talked today, great students. You know you're a very good student. But for some colleges, that could be very selective, or maybe just selective period. Might not be the right school for you, or they may not feel you're the right fit for them. So you have to keep it in mind as you do go along. Is this school the right fit for me? And they're asking you, are you the right fit for that particular school? We've had some great students that may not be admitted, but we can only make so many offers of admission for any college. Now, maybe some schools may have open enrollment. That's a possibility with most colleges, on the most part, whether you're in the state of Connecticut or outside of Connecticut, from a competitive standpoint, you're going to be selected. And sometimes, keep it in mind, some students that are very good students may not be admitted to those schools. You're going to look and certainly see what your first choice will be. You'll have a number of choices. And it's really kind of interesting. I talked to one of my colleagues from MIT a while back, the director of admissions. It was really kind of interesting. As she did get a chance to get out and meet with students and talk with students, she always made it a point to say that you should always have more than one first choice. So for a lot of students, a certain school you're looking at, or you may find that school you're looking for, and you're going to say, that is it. I'm not going to apply to any of the schools. That's the one school I'm going to. Why bother looking at it? Why bother with any other applications? Bottom line is, you want to have a number of choices. And there's nothing wrong with having two first choices. To go back to number one, in some cases, you might be some schools, no question you'll get into. Maybe for some schools, you may not. But you want to have more than one first choice. Nothing wrong with that, because you want to be able to make the choices. And you want to make sure that you take care of yourself. Don't apply to every school that might be a reach school. You get to some point where you say, oh man, I applied to all these schools and I'm either on the wait list or I didn't get into it. Know what schools, how competitive they are, what it takes to get into them, applying to them. Certainly try to be comfortable. Again, there's no guarantees. You never know how it's going to be from year to year. But make sure if you're looking at the number of schools you're going to apply to, reach schools. Maybe a school I absolutely want to go to. Maybe here's a school I'm pretty sure I can get into. Here's one I know I can get into. And as you look at all these different schools and you apply to them, you want to cover yourself and see where you end up. Maybe that reach school takes you in there. Maybe they're going to say the right essay. Maybe it's going to be all your extracurricular activities. It could be a number of things. But you want to make sure that as you certainly apply to colleges, you apply to colleges to cover yourself. Look out for number one. It's the best way to put it. Because certainly as colleges are looking at students, they're going to make decisions based on who they feel is right for their school. But you're going to make sure you take care of yourself as you look at different schools and colleges, as to make sure that you cover all your bases. And by the time you get to the fall, you're able to enroll to a school. If it's not your first choice, at least your second choice, or even third choice for that matter. The important thing is always have options. Very important. What's important about this screen right here, it says start early. I know some students, it's freshman year, they'll start looking at college, sophomore year, but now it's in your junior year. You're going to be taking the SAT exams probably coming up within the next few months. By May, June. Some of you might have already taken your SAT exams. That's a possibility. Most students will start junior year in the spring, start taking their SAT exams or ACTs, and will even continue to take them into the fall. But you're starting. This is where you're going to start looking. You're going to go online. That's a possibility. And you're going to start looking at maybe what might be a good school for psychology. You might be able to type in psychology or look at different, do different search engines. You come up with certainly some different schools and colleges that may have great psychology programs. And you'll try to get more information about that as well. And of course, with technology today, what better way? Right in your own home, you go online, you can pretty much find anything that you're looking for. But this is where it starts. It starts right now. Some of you maybe already are looking at colleges, or you're going on different tours, or you might get a chance to start getting out with your parents, visiting schools and colleges. Quick show of hands. Anybody here looking at schools and colleges? Have you visited yet? Some of you already started. This is the time to start. You don't want to wait. This is the time to start looking through the winter, into the spring, especially through the summer. You might have a little bit more time, even as you get into next fall. The applications start coming in, but even as you get into next fall. And I will let you know this too, and I'd like to let everybody know, certainly when you get a chance to do parent night, in a school like ours, or University of Connecticut, a lot of students will start applying early. And for the University of Connecticut, aside from any other school in college, to me that's an important thing, especially today. Maybe it wasn't 8 years ago, but it is today. So we'll see students will start sending applications in October, November, anything to get their application in before the December 1st early action deadline. That doesn't guarantee admission, but for a lot of students, it puts you in the mix. And things do change for us as we go along, but this is a good thing to know. It's important that you know, because that's our school, that's how it works. Every school that you may apply to may have a different admissions process. And I like to let parents and students know this, because a lot of times we get to this time of year, February, March, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to get my application early. Oh, I didn't know I should have had transcript a certain way, or look at the application online, a number of different things, and this is certainly for different schools. Maybe you're looking to apply for early decision. For those schools that still accept the early decision application, there is a certain process to it. And the best thing to do is to contact those schools and colleges and ask